I took Yale's free course on happiness called The Science of Well-Being, and I have some devastating news. All the things that we thought would make us happy actually don't. So the Science of Well-Being is taught by Dr. Laurie Santos, who is most known for her very popular podcast, The Happiness Lab. And this Yale course, you can sign up for free and learn all of this yourself. And actually, I highly recommend that you do it so you can actually integrate the lessons, because new studies have come out saying that this course can and does enhance people's sense of well-being. But if you're like, I don't have time for an 8-hour plus course, tiny Asian lady, just hit me with the highlights, here we go. Now, one important caveat to note is that the authors of this course point out this is not a cure-all for depression, right? Or a replacement for psychiatric treatment. This is just about how to improve your mental health and overall sense of well-being. It is not about overcoming mental illness. Also, I forgot to mention this in the video. As you can see, I'm reviewing it now. But if you do not have enough money to cover your basic needs, then none of this really applies. All of this research is applying to individuals who have enough money to meet their basic needs. So keep that in mind. Let's get into the Spark Notes. Misconceptions around happiness. The things we think are gonna make us happy, like all this stuff right here, it doesn't. Most of the things that we think will make us happy at last only do so briefly, and then our baseline of happiness eventually returns. But that's not entirely bad news, because 40% of our happiness is actually under our control and not determined by genetics. But our mind's strongest intuitions about how much something is gonna really make us happy or unhappy are very often wrong. So you can't rely on your big, dumb lizard brain. Our minds also don't think in terms of absolutes. We judge relative to reference points. So what this means is we compare how happy we should be based on our surroundings. So even if you're making plenty of money, if everyone around you is making substantially more, you're gonna ultimately be unhappy. We also don't realize that our minds are built to get used to things, which is called hedonic adaptation. So this is the reason why you are constantly shifting the goalpost or moving the milestone of things that you think are gonna get you to a state of happiness. Now, in terms of how to be happier, the course says we wanna do a couple of things. We wanna invest in experiences over any kind of material thing. We wanna thwart our hedonic adaptation. You can do this in a couple of ways. You can do this by savoring really enjoyable moments and grounding in the present. You can use negative visualization by imagining, well, what if I didn't have this awesome thing? You can think as if today was your last day to increase gratitude. You can also practice gratitude daily and reset your reference points. This is like looking at what you're actually comparing your life to and sort of resetting that barometer if you're not getting the kind of happiness that you'd like to have. And they also recommend interrupting consumption. It's very fascinating. Taking a break from a good movie or a fun thing will actually make you appreciate coming back to that fun thing more. And studies have shown that commercial breaks actually increase our enjoyment of shows. Who would have guessed? Not I. Now, in terms of things that actually make us happy, the science of what makes us happy. What makes us happy is having signature strengths in a job over money. So feeling like you are able to utilize your unique strengths, that you are being able to be fulfilled by your job, that you are appreciated and valued. Flow in a job is better than money because that increases fulfillment and a sense of engagement. Growth mindset over having a fixed mindset makes us happy for obvious reasons. Practicing kindness, social connection, time affluence over money, valuing your free time more than money. There's a lot of like greater than monies on this list, but also, you know, some of the things we could have guessed, which is mindfulness via meditation, exercise, and good sleep. And finally, the course talks about how do you get there, right? Like what are the implementation steps that you can take to increase your happiness? Well, they suggest using situational support. So for instance, if you know you want to have good nutrition, that's a goal of yours, right? You can take all of this candy and put it in a drawer instead of on your desk, because if it's out of sight, you're more or less likely to take that decision. You can set specific goals and practice goal implementation intentions. So that's like, if it is this time in this place, I will do this behavior, getting into the nitty-gritty of it, right? But they also suggest for goal setting implementation to use the WHOOP method. So this is wish, outcome, obstacle, plan, which is an evidence-based goal setting strategy where you define a desired outcome, identify potential obstacles, and then you create a plan to overcome those barriers. It differs from other goal setting techniques by including a self-regulation strategy called mental contrasting. So mental contrasting encourages you to balance positive thinking about a desired future alongside consideration of the present-day obstacles obstacles that might be in your way. Now, the steps to whoop are wish. You identify a meaningful, challenging, and feasible wish or goal. Outcome, you imagine the best result or feeling from accomplishing your wish. And then you identify obstacles, something inside of you that might be preventing you from accomplishing your wish. And then plan, which is basically saying, okay, if this obstacle happens, then I will insert effective action steps. There you go. There's 8 hours of courses in I don't know what this was, 6-minute video. You're welcome. And yeah. That's it. I'm Akana. Thank you to the partners who supported today's video and today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Therapy has helped me so much with learning how to identify incompatibilities in my relational dynamics, strengthening my self-worth and self-esteem, and practicing and cultivating my strengths. If something is interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, therapy helps you create awareness and change your life for the better. So BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And I know that finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area, but BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier than ever because it's online, it's remote, and all you have to do is fill out a few questions and they'll match you with a professional therapist in as little as a few days. And look, therapy is kind of like dating, so if for whatever reason your therapist isn't the right match, you can easily switch for free. Make meaningful change in your life today with BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/Akana or click the link in the description below.